Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another Cold War best class setup video. Today we are taking a look at one of my absolute favorite weapons in the game. I know the MP5 is absolutely broken right now, but we'll get to that eventually. I mean, the MP5 is just so far ahead of so many of the other guns in this game, it is unbelievable, but as I said, we'll get to that eventually. Today we are of course looking at the M16, which is quickly becoming one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's like the only weapon that I've leveled above like level 10 at the moment, just because I'm having so much fun with it. Getting one burst kills on people feels absolutely fantastic. Just before we do get into talking about the best M16 class setup in Cold War here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I know about 80% of you guys watching this video right now. I'm calling you out right now. Ever since I did call people out for not subscribing, the numbers have gone up a little bit. I like that. We are, of course, looking to end the year at about 4,000 subscribers. That would be very, very exciting for me. I would massively appreciate that if we could get there. And let's just jump straight into our best M16 class setup here. Now, of course, we aren't all the way through leveling up our M16, but I mean, we're only level 30 and there are some better attachments later unlocks, but man, it does take a very long time to level up weapons in this game. So we'll get there eventually, and I'll talk about some of the best attachments for this thing in just a second. Starting off with our sidearm here, of course, we are looking at the 1911. I am doing my best to level this thing up to level 35 because you do unlock dual wield akimbo with the 1911, which is absolutely hilarious. So we're working on that. As for our attachments that we've got at the moment, we're looking at a quick dot LED just to make it a very, very easy sight picture. Then the muzzle brake 45 APC for that increase to our vertical recoil. Then the extended barrel for that 40% increase to our bullet velocity, of course. That steady aim laser for that hip fire accuracy. And then the 12 round mags, because the 8 round default mags are not large enough to do some serious work with. It really doesn't matter what you put in this. The 1911 is an absolute beast in this game. Make sure you try it out. In terms of our tactical, we are looking at the stim shot, of course, because getting that extra chance per life, being able to stab yourself in the leg, keep running, and get that health back immediately is, of course, very nice here. Then, of course, the C4 is probably one of the strongest lethals in the game. It is like the older sort of C4 from Modern Warfare. You can chuck it a very long way. You get a little jump boost, a little sprint action. You can chuck it so far. And it does an amazing work with this. Then, of course, the field upgrade. You can't go past the field microphone. Basically, getting a mini advanced UAV on the map in a certain area. It's so strong. I'm going to make a video just on the field microphone very soon because, I mean, it is very powerful in this game to track exactly where people move in a certain area, and then it lets you control sort of flanks and stuff like that. It's a super powerful piece of equipment here. In terms of our wildcard, we'll talk about this before the perks because it is very important here. We're going with Lawbreaker at the moment. I think Perk Greed might be a little bit better, and Gunfighter is good if you do want loads of attachments, but I don't think we actually need Gunfighter on this particular class setup. So Lawbreaker does let us have a couple of perks in the Perk 3 slot, which is of course very exciting. And lastly, our perks here, of course, the Flak Jacket. Essentially meaning we do take less damage from explosives because it means you can take more explosive damage, which is very strong here. In the perk 2 slot, nothing. We don't want a perk 2. Basically, we want 2 perk 3s. We want Gung Ho at the moment because we can move around very quickly, reload while sprinting and stuff like that. Switch weapons fast, which is very cool for us because I do like the 1911. And essentially, then you want Ghost because making us undetectable on those spy planes is, of course, very important here, meaning we can move around the map a lot safer. Very powerful option. Now, as for our attachments for the M16, you can unlock the Western Front variant based on sort of pre-ordering the game digitally. I've seen a number of people saying that they did get this without pre-ordering, but it is what it is. If you do have the Western Front variant, it does start off very nice here. We're of course going to show off the attachments that we've unlocked here, what I do prefer, and then we'll talk about some better options later on down the road. Starting off here with our optic, of course, I'm choosing the Millstop Reflex because it does give us a very nice clear sight picture as well as a decent amount of zoom. No muzzle we've chosen here. I think with the Western Front variant, you are starting with like the SOCOM Eliminator, which is a good place to start. The barrel that we're going with at the moment is, of course, the Strike Team. This does reduce our effective damage range slightly, but if we are moving around the map, being in close quarters areas, that 14% increase to our damage and 18% increase to our fire rate is, of course, very nice to carry us through here. If we're looking at a very powerful attachment in the later unlock, I'm going to have to make another M16 video down the road very soon once I do max out this weapon. The 39 unlocked 20.5 inch match grade barrel does give us 100% increase to our effective damage range, which is very powerful. And then your 20.5 inch task force does give us an increase to our damage, effective damage range, bullet velocity. So this is probably going to be the option that you want to go with, but this is level 48. So that's going to take a very long time to unlock. Move to the underbarrel. Basically what we get at the Field Agent foregrip is, of course, a great amount of recoil control. Our bullets go exactly where we want them to go with this, and you unlock this from the start with the Western Front variant, which is, of course, very powerful. I mean, if you are choosing to use the M16, if you have the Western Front variant, make sure you use that. You get a very large head start in terms of some of the attachments weapons that you do get here. Then we want that Serpent Wrap, which is another option that we do get from the Western Front variant, giving us 25% increase to our aim down sight speed. Of course, very, very nice option in this game. Super powerful to start off with. And then lastly, we've got the Tactical Stock for a 65% increase to our aim walking movement speed. A huge stat raise here, meaning we can move around the map quite quickly while we are aiming down sight, which with the 3 burst weapon is very, very powerful. As we usually do here, we're going to jump into some gameplay now and have a good time, because this is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It competes at those medium to longer distances and is absolutely fantastic fun in this game. Alrighty, so hopefully we can jump into some combined arms and actually have a decent time here. There's supposed to be boys coming up over this little ridge, I would guess. No, they're going behind. They are trying to push down this little valley here. But I mean, like, look at that. You can get a 1 burst on him, but that is not super important. What is important here is the actual damage and the mass and stuff with this particular weapon. Like, when you look at it, it seems okay, but when you compare the health and the time to kill on some of the other weapons, the M16 is just superior. Like, weapons that front load their damage and do a big burst of damage with large health pools and slowish time to kills on the rest of the weapons in the game mean that the M16 and the AUG and the snipers are always going to be very, very good. Like, if somebody isn't landing, like, the exact first shot, or even, like, putting a couple of bullets into you with their assault rifle, most of the time you're going to outgun them. Which is pretty funny. Which is pretty funny, because, like, I don't think the M16 has actually been this good since, like, Modern Warfare. Like, original. Like, COD 4. Which is absolutely hilarious, because... Ooh, chuck the C4 over the top. Yeah, boom. I don't know, what is that guy up to? That's fine. Poor man was just trying to walk and he got blowed up. I do kind of want to push up there, but I can't really at the moment, so we're going to double back around here. But yeah, for me, the M16 is like the most fun weapon in the game. I mean, a lot of people are using the MP5 and stuff like that simply because it is like... Ooh, no, come on. Yeah, nice. It is actually just like one of the best weapons in the game. Just like the damage you deal is just... Oh, everything's fine. We are in a tough spot here. We've only got 3 bullets left, and... that is obviously not ideal. But we do have our 1911. No, nah, I shouldn't have peeked there. That was very silly. We did unlock the helicopter very, very quickly there. And actually one of the best kill streaks in the game is the cruise missile. Like, look at this garbage. Dun, 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 dun. No, are we not? No, that's fine. Am I lagging? Oh, every time I pull that out, like, if there's people out in the open, you can usually get 2, 3, 4 kills easily. But for the most part, the M16 is all about those 1 to 2 bursts. Sometimes if you are landing a headshot on somebody, you will get a 1 burst, which feels absolutely fantastic. But most of the time, you'll just end up getting like a 2 burst, which is still good. Because, as I said earlier, somebody just simply can't do the damage to you in the time that your bursts take. Like, they just can't do anything about you killing them most of the time. I mean, an M6 or an MP5 at very close range is, of course, going to do some serious work. Like, you're probably going to lose to that, but other than that, there's not really much that can compete with this particular weapon at those medium distances, simply just because of the amount of damage that gets put in with the bursts. And the AUG is very, very similar in that regard. It does very, very similar damage numbers. They're almost exactly the same in terms of stats, but yeah, it's hard to decide which one of those is actually better. But how good are these bikes on this particular map? Like, look how goofy they are. It's just so stupid. I love it. I love the bikes, man. They look so bad. They're just huge. And they handle so badly. But let's go get a trample kill. I think that would be funny. Come on. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. We got what we were after. But man, these just 2 bursts are just so strong. It's just so good. As I said, burst weapons haven't been this good since like the M16 from COD 4, which is just wild. I mean, of course, the FR556 in Modern Warfare last year was good, but it wasn't this good. Like, the game just allows this weapon to be really, really good, and I really appreciate that because, I mean, it's just about the mechanics, the damage that it does. It's just good. It's just good. Unlike the visibility on Cartel, which the visibility on this map sucks. Like, it's so bad. That didn't blow up. Nice. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's go up this way. And we'll drop down onto the left-hand side as well. Just stick close to the wall most of the time, you should be okay. At those close ranges, obviously you're going to get outgunned by an SMG, which that's what you deal with. Like, that is what you can expect with something like this. But at those medium distances, you win. Like, you just win. Shut the C4. Ooh, he went up the top. I was not expecting that. Is there a second guy? Maybe? Oh, there is a second guy back there, but as I said, he had an automatic weapon, we had the burst weapon, and we got the kill there. That is really all you need to know about this particular weapon. Like it's just good. It's just good. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it feels good to be using something that isn't the MP5, but of course we will have to look at the MP5 at some point because it is absolutely broken in this game. Like, the M16 is my favorite weapon at the moment, and let's talk about that in just a second. So of course the M16, as we mentioned throughout that gameplay and towards the end, is one of my favorite weapons in this game. It's just a lot of fun to use. Like, getting that front-loaded damage, dealing massive amounts of damage, like those burst kills are just so super satisfying because you feel very accurate with this style of weapon. And when you get those 1 bursts, when you get those 2 bursts, you feel absolutely insane. Like, a weapon like this hasn't been this powerful since, it's been a very long time, and it feels very, very good to be sort of almost countering the meta like loads of people are running around with the MP5, and the M16 is a good answer to that because you can stay further back and you can outgun MP5s at sort of those medium to longer distances. Anyway guys, I do appreciate you checking out this one. The M16, as I said already, is a fantastic weapon in this game. If you have got the Western Front variant, make sure you do go check this out. Anyway, as I said previously, make sure you hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, as I said already as well. About 80% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye!